Hello everybody, this is Linda at Twassen Wellness Center. Today I'm going to take you through a softball foot treatment using the melt method to help you get grounded. This day and age, I'm feeling like things are getting a little crazy, and our biggest defense is to keep our feet on the ground, keep our bodies centered, keep ourselves calm, and using the breath and various treatments such as this to really anchor ourselves. And it helps to strengthen our immune system. So a few things that the foot treatment does for you is that it improves circulation through your whole body. This is a global treatment. Even though we're down at the feet, there's thousands of nerve endings in the feet and in the joints. So by stimulating the various meridians and nerves that are in the bottom of the feet, it really helps to fuel the full body all the way up to the brain, stimulating our vagus nerve, which helps to bring us into the parasympathetic nervous system, make us feel calm, make us feel grounded, help us improve our sleep. This also stimulates your lymphatic system, and the job of your lymphatic system is to take the toxins into the kidneys so that they in turn can be flushed out. So grab your ball if you've got one. If not, know this video is here, and pop into the studio and grab it so you can do this at home. So I'm just going to have you look down at your feet. So you want to be in bare feet or just some toe socks is fine. And just relax your arms by your side. So your feet are parallel, and I'm just going to have you close your eyes and drop in and get a sense of what we call your body sense. So just noticing your footprint on the ground, noticing where you are weighted on your feet. If you're feeling like you're wide and firmly grounded to the floor, or maybe you're just noticing that you're standing on sort of the balls of the feet or the heel. Also, even though you know that your feet are parallel, do they feel parallel or do they feel staggered? Do you feel weighted forward on the feet or more back, or do you feel centered? And also, do you feel like you have equal weight on both feet, or do you feel like you're standing heavier to one side or the other? As you scan up your thighs, just notice, are your quads relaxed or your glutes relaxed, or do you feel like your legs are gripping? If they do feel gripping, just let them relax, let them go a little bit, and just note that that's a lot of extra energy that we're using just to stand. Take your focus back down to your legs. Take a breath in. And as you exhale, lift all 10 toes up off the ground and just pause there for a moment, letting your body adjust to its new center of gravity. Take another breath in. And as you exhale, place all 10 toes down on the ground and notice if you drift forward. Open your eyes. So we're going to take this ball and we're going to place it under what we call position point 1, which is right under the center of your foot. We're going to come into this parallel foot position and just start kneading the ball, like how a cat kneads the surface that it's getting set up to lie down on. Make sure that this pressure is tolerable. Melt should never hurt. And so we're just shifting. The center point of the foot is the meridian to our diaphragm, so using some nice easy breaths as you go. And then you're just going to bend your knees and move your arms around your center of gravity. What we're working on here is that balance point, what we call your autopilot, and that is its job, is to help keep you stable and in balance without you even thinking about it. You're going to pause there, take a focused breath in, and as you exhale, you just step back and take your weight off the foot. So now we're going to go into position point pressing. So you're going to find the joint that corresponds with your big toe. Notice my legs are staggered, one in front of the other, and my knees are bent. I'm just going to rock forward to mobilize that joint, nice and tall through your posture. Take a focused breath in, and exhale, step back. Then you go to the joint that corresponds with the second toe, and rock forward. So remember, we're on the forefoot, so the ball isn't under your toes, it's under the joints that correspond with the toes. And then we go under the third joint, take a focused breath in, give the tissue time to adapt, and exhale, step back. And then the joint that corresponds with the fourth toe, rock forward, take a focused breath in, feel nice and tall through your alignment, head is up, eyes are forward, and rock back. And then go under the joint that corresponds with the fifth toe. And now notice that's down lower, so your forefoot doesn't travel in a straight line, it travels on a diagonal, and then you step back. Then we're going to take the ball under the high point of your arch. It's called position point 3A, and you're just going to disappear the ball. And you rock forward. This can be a tender point on a lot of people, so again, you can choose how much weight you put on the ball. and then you step back. Then position point 3B is you're going to move the ball up about an inch, and it's going to settle still on the tissue in front of that joint that corresponds with the big toe. And you rock forward, take a focused breath in, and exhale. And then we go to position point 4. So you go in between where the baby toe ball and the heel pad are, and so you can see that midpoint, and then you just want to disappear the ball. Again, stagger your feet, bend your knees, and rock forward. Take a focused breath in, and exhale, come back. Then lift your forefoot, and let the ball settle right in front of your heel pad. And again, you rock forward, take a focused breath in, and then you step back. Good, and then we'll go through it again. Position point 1, right under the center of the foot, rock forward, take a breath, and exhale. Position point 2, under the joint that corresponds with the big toe, and rock forward. So here we're mobilizing the joints, which is really important for gait. And then we go under the joint that corresponds with the second toe. So you can even look down and notice, are you seeing movement in that joint? And then step back and under the joint with the third toe. We're also stimulating the nerves. So all the nerves end in our hands and our feet and our head. And so by stimulating the nerves, we're improving the communication all the way through the body up to the top of your head. So you can notice that you might start to feel a little more alert, a little more focused through your spine and your posture, easier to breathe. And again, under the fifth toe, take a focused breath in and exhale. And then you're going to take the ball 3A, which is you find the high end of the arch between the big toe pad and the baby toe ball, and just disappear the ball so you can't see it poking out. And again, stagger your legs, rock forward. And again, this is often tender, so you can choose how much weight you put onto the ball. Move the ball up so it's just in front of the joint, but still on your tissue. And take a breath in. This is what we call the wasabi point here. And so this is the tendon that attaches to the big toe joint, which is where our bunion can be. So often it's quite tender. Position point 4 is between the baby toe ball and the heel pad. And again, you just rock forward, nice and tall through your spine. Take a focused breath in. And exhale. And then in front of the heel pad. And we rock forward. So here's where the change happens. We're going to be heading into our glide. So this time when you rock back, you only want to take 50% of the tension off the ball. Keep your toes down, and moving from your hip, we're going to go into the glide. So the important thing with the glide is the consistency of the pressure from one side to the other. And we just start to move that ball down now to the base of your heel pad. So the glide is both exploratory, we're exploring for areas of stuck stress, and preparatory. Start to bring the ball back up to position point 5, and we're preparing for the shear. So once you get to position point 5, you're just going to compress the ball and go into some tight localized compression. So it's just like a little wiggle here. It's like you're pushing the ball up against the bone. And then the most important part about the shear is the pause. So you're going to pause, take a focused breath in, giving the tissue time to adapt, and exhale to step off. So now we're going to rinse. So we're going to place the ball under the joint that corresponds with the big toe, and it's like a swipe right. So you're going to roll the ball from the big toe ball to the baby toe ball, take the pressure off, and bring it back. So with our rinse, the rinse we only do in one direction. So we go from the big toe ball to the baby toe ball, pressure off, bring it back, and swipe right, good, and bring it back, and one more time, swipe right, and bring it back. Then we're gonna rinse and move the fluid. This is where we make it a global technique from the forefoot to the heel. So again, stagger your legs, bend your knees, place the ball under the big toe joint, take a breath in, and then just roll the ball to the heel pad. Take the pressure off and come back. And you roll from each joint that corresponds with all the individual toes to the heel, and then the weight off and come back. So the flow of energy in your body goes up the front of your body and down the back. So here we're pushing the fluid up through the front of the body. And we roll to the heel and back. Good, and we'll do 2 more passes from anywhere on the forefoot. And 1 more, and then we go into our friction. So the friction is where there's no pressure on the ball, keeping your leg and your relaxed, and you're just doing little scribbles everywhere. If all you have is a few seconds just to stimulate your system, this is the one you want to do because this is stimulating your lymphatic system. Good. And then release. So just bring your feet side by side, and we want to compare the side that we've melted to the side that we have not yet melted. Close your eyes and just drop in. And what there is to notice here is the difference between the side that you've melted and the side that you haven't. Noticing your foot area contact to the floor. Noticing the difference between the side that you've melted. Do you feel like there's more energy and grounding to the floor, whereas the other side you might just be noticing the bones that you're standing on. As you scan up your leg, again noticing if the side that you've melted, there's this flow of energy, like your leg is one seamless piece, as opposed to the other side, you're very aware of your ankle, your knee, and your hip. Take a focused breath in, and exhale. Open your eyes. So let's share the love with the other side. So we begin with our rebalance piece. So you're going to take the ball and place it under position point 1, which is right under the center of your foot. With your knees bent, you're just going to shift side to side. Make sure that you're working with tolerable pressure. It should always feel good. And then we're going to pause, bend your knees, and move your arms around your center. Good. And then you're going to pause there, take a focused breath in, and exhale, step back. Now, position point pressing. So we take the ball under the joint that corresponds with your big toe. You rock forward, take a focused breath in, and exhale, step back. You go under the joint that corresponds with the second toe. Take a breath in, and exhale, and the third toe, and exhale. And the joint that corresponds with the fourth toe. Remember, the ball is now moving down a little bit because the forefoot moves down on an angle, and the baby toe joint is way down low below the baby toe, and exhale. Then we go at 3A, which is the high end of the arch between the big toe pad and the baby toe heel. Bend the knees, rock forward, take a breath in, and exhale, rock back, and then we move the ball up an inch under the big toe pad, and again, you rock forward, take a focused breath in, and exhale. And then position point 4 between the baby toe pad and the heel, and take forward, in, and exhale, and then lift your foot, let the ball settle in front of the heel pad, and rock forward, breath in, and exhale. And then we do it again. We go under the position point 1, center of the foot, give the tissue time to adapt, and rock back. The joint that corresponds with your big toe, breath in, and exhale, and the second toe. So here, not only are we corresponding with the joints, with the feet, mobilizing the joints, stimulating the nervous system, we're also working on our balance as we rock forward and back. So if you don't walk backwards a lot in your life, even just doing this might feel a little strange, but the more you practice it, the better your autopilot at finding your balance and center will be able to support you when you do have to step back all of a sudden, like gardening, being able to step back away from the garden, step back onto a curve if you started to cross the street too soon. 3A, where we take the ball under the high end of the arch, disappear the ball, rock forward, and exhale, and then we take the ball up a little bit, just in front of the joint that corresponds with the big toe, and back, and position point 4, rock forward, focus breath in, and exhale, and then in front of the heel pad, rock forward, and this is where we're now going to shift into our glide. So we're going to keep your toes down, take only 50% of the pressure off the ball, and go into your glide. So again, what matters here is the consistency of the pressure from one side to the other, not the amount of pressure, just enough to control the ball. And then start to move the ball down towards the bottom of the heel. And then you're going to bring it back up to just in front of the heel pad. You're going to compress the ball and go into your shear, which is tight little wiggles. Good. This is like wringing out the cloth, wringing out the cloth, wringing out the cloth. And then we pause, we take a focused breath in, and then as we exhale, this is where you get the fill effect. And you step back. Now we rinse. So we're going to start with the rinse from our forefoot. So you take the ball under the big toe joint and you just swipe left now. And we swipe to the other side. Good. And swipe across. Good. And swipe across. Now we're going to rinse from the top of the foot to the bottom of the foot. So bend your knees. The ball goes under the big toe joint. And you press through the ball to roll to the heel. And then you take the load off and step back. From the second toe, press through. So you can either roll just to the heel or you can roll right off the ball. It really doesn't matter. And you just need enough pressure again to manage the ball. It doesn't have to be a lot of pressure. You just need enough that you can coordinate the ball. Good, so going from each joint to the heel and one more time. Good, and now 2 passes from anywhere that you like. Good, and then the final is friction. And again, keeping your leg nice and relaxed. We're practicing our balance on our standing leg. If your standing leg is starting to feel a little fatigued, keep at this. You can do this at a counter to support you, but I guarantee your hip will strengthen, your leg will strengthen, and your balance will improve. So it's all worth it. Good, and then we're just gonna do a little friction on the left foot again. Good, standing nice and tall through your spine. And breathing. Good, relaxing your leg and your thigh. And one more time on your, whoops, lost my ball. It happens, good. And then one more time on the other side. Oh, I feel better already, good. All right, so now we're just gonna have you stand with your parallel feet and we're gonna do our reconnect. And we're gonna let your arms hang by your side and close your eyes. Oh, just notice what you feel. How do your feet feel? How's the surface area contacted on your feet? Do you feel more grounded and centered through your feet? If before you felt like your feet were staggered but you knew they were parallel, do they feel parallel now? And do you feel more equally weighted on the right and left side of the foot? Noticing the flow of energy up your legs. Are you feeling like the energy moves so that your foot and your calf and your thigh and your hip have this sense of connection all the way through? Take your focus back down to your feet. Take a focused breath in. And as you exhale, lift all 10 toes. And we're just going to pause there for a moment. Take another breath in. And as you exhale, place your 10 toes down and notice if you drift forward less than before. Good. How do you feel? I appreciate you doing this along with me. Leave any comments below and I'll be happy to answer them if you have any questions. If you're intrigued by this and you'd like to learn the MELT method, also leave a contact below or give us a call at the studio and let us know you're interested and I can put an intro to MELT workshop down for you because it really is some of the most fantastic work and it's all things you can do at home to help your body stay healthy, centered, and grounded. Thanks for watching.